This is a medical marijuana user. We'll call him Bob because he doesn't want his identity to be revealed. Bob suffers debilitating pain every day as the result of an accident a few years ago.
I fractured or broke my back too, and my sciatic nerve, which runs down through your hip, was really bad. Both my hips, both my knees, both of my ankles, this arm and elbow, and then, yeah, so it's a whole lot of injuries and a whole lot of constant pain all day, every day. The pain just doesn't stop.
2 years ago, he thought Delaware would finally make it legal for him to access the drug that he believes best helps manage that pain.
If I have good medical cannabis, I hardly have to take any of the opiates, I hardly have to take any of the Xanax and, the medicines for the panic attacks and anxiety, and it's a lot easier to manage the day, and I'm not a zombie. When I take all these, I can't drive, can't really hold a conversation, I feel like a zombie. When I'm on pot, I can actually be active and, talk to people.
But even though medical marijuana was signed into law in 2011, there are no dispensaries for medical marijuana ID holders to legally obtain their pot. Governor Jack Markell says he was notified by Delaware's U.S. Attorney and the Justice Department shortly after that bill signing.
That concerned us about whether or not state employees who were involved in these compassion centers could be subject to some kind of prosecution. So we took a step back.
That delay left medical marijuana patients like Bob in limbo. It's also made him worried that he'll be prosecuted. It was after being pulled over a few times in recent weeks that Bob asked us to conceal his identity. Under the law, he's allowed to possess small amounts of marijuana, but he has no legal way to buy it.
It's very unfortunate. It's an iffy subject. I would rather go into a state-certified compassion center and get my medication there. I would much rather do that. It's going to be better product. It's going to be better for the state and better for the patients and better for the people. It'll help everybody. It'll make it a lot safer in a number of ways.
27 Delawareans are holding medical marijuana ID cards and are in that same limbo. It's something that has vexed Governor Markell.
This has been my frustration. The federal government essentially has put people in a box where they say, if you need medical marijuana, we're not going to come after you if you're using it, but good luck finding it on your own, because we're not really giving the go-ahead to any of these compassion centers, even if they're regulated tightly, as Delaware's law is designed to do.
But because the way the law was written, Delaware could be sued for not opening compassion centers.
If the department fails to adopt regulations to implement this chapter within the times provided for this chapter, any citizen may commence an action in Superior Court to compel the department to perform the actions mandated pursuant to the provisions of this chapter.
Bob says he'd rather work with the state than sue, but New Jersey patients have sued, accusing their state of dragging its feet in opening compassion centers.
You're going to get more accomplished and more done in a positive manner if you work with them than if you start a fight. It's going to be better for the patients if we work with them and contact them and voice our opinions.
I absolutely share that frustration. I've communicated it at very high levels, and we're now working to see whether or not there's a way that we can keep people as protected from this risk as possible.